There's something deeply strange about these clips.
Oh, hell no. That's crazy.
Something that makes people pause, rewind, and rewatch.
Go now.
They all feel like moments cut out of a bigger, stranger picture. And the internet can't stop digging, so stay tuned to find out why everyone is searching for these videos.
I'm sorry, what is that you do?
You won't believe what happened on this simple date night. A woman was talking with her date when her voice suddenly changed, growing deep and strange. Her eyes shifted, losing their familiar warmth. Then, without warning, she whispered something.
I'm possessed.
The man froze, shocked and unsure what to do next. Was it a real possession, or just an act? This chilling moment left everyone wondering what was really behind her sudden change, and whether the night would end normally or not.
That's fine. Yeah.
Possessed patient. The girl was taken to the hospital by her family, believing she simply needed treatment. Nothing seemed unusual until the security camera footage was reviewed later. In the video, the doctor and nurse were quietly talking about her condition when she did some really bizarre acts and got caught. She raised her hand, making a deliberate gesture toward a nearby table, and a medical tool appeared to slide directly into her grasp. The staff in the room seemed unaware of what had happened, but once the clip reached the internet, it sparked intense debate, leaving viewers questioning whether this was an unexplained phenomenon or something with a hidden explanation. Possessed man. He started recording to show what was coming up the stairs, a figure that didn't move like any normal person. Its pale, lifeless eyes never blinked, and its movements were stiff and strange. Suddenly, without warning, it lunged forward. The man slammed the door just in time, stopping the eerie visitor. But when he opened the door again, the figure was still standing there, motionless and unsettling. Many who watched the video are convinced that this wasn't just a man. It was something possessed, something not quite human. Birthday gone wrong.
Happy birthday to Jonathan. Happy birthday to you.
It was supposed to be a sweet family moment when everyone had gathered around the cake, smiling, singing, and recording the memory. But right as the girl leaned in to blow out the candles, the flames went out instantly, and it wasn't her. Though spooked at first, their calmness made it seem as though they already knew an unseen force was behind it. But who was it? That's something they never revealed to the people.
I said happy birthday, Blondie.
What did you do? That was strange, wasn't it? What happened?
Possessed lady. Curiosity led a group of friends into an old, abandoned house. As they moved through the dark hallway, one girl suddenly stopped and clutched her head, clearly in pain. She sank to the floor, but then her body began to rock in an unsettling rhythm. Her face twisted, no longer familiar, and her voice turned into strange, loud noises that weren't her own. The group stood still, unsure how to respond. That strange moment left them all shaken, far beyond what they had expected from their simple exploration. Live gone wrong. He was streaming live on Instagram, talking and laughing with his followers like any other day. Suddenly, messages started popping up, urging him to check behind him. At first, he ignored them, thinking it was a joke, but curiosity got the better of him, and he slowly looked over his shoulder. What he saw made his heart stop. A pale, girl-like face just inches away. He stayed frozen, unsure if it was real or a trick of the light. The brief, chilling moment turned his usual live stream into something viewers won't forget anytime soon. New house. They were excited to share their new home with friends and family, so they recorded a video outside to celebrate. But when they watched it later, something unexpected appeared. Just behind the door, a tall figure with long dark hair and glowing eyes stood quietly, almost hidden in the shadows. The couple never noticed it while filming, yet it was clearly there, watching, waiting. The eerie presence captured on camera left them with more questions than answers. Who or what was standing silently in the background of their special moment? Ghost Catcher.
Go now.
A team of ghost catchers decided to explore an old abandoned house after hearing reports of strange happenings. They set up a camera near the stairs and stayed connected with their team through a video call. One of the girls sat quietly by the camera, waiting for something to happen. After a while, she saw a dark hand slowly appear from the stairs, reaching toward her. Quickly, she grabbed the camera to record the moment. But just as fast as it appeared, the hand vanished, leaving no sign that anything was ever there. The empty space felt heavy with silence and mystery.
Go now.
Creepy lady. She was sitting quietly on the floor, knees pulled in, trying to hold back tears. Something wasn't right. Her eyes kept darting toward the dark hallway behind her, and then, barely visible in the shadows, a figure began to crawl into view. It had long, tangled hair that dragged along the floor, and its face was an unnatural red, almost glowing in the dim light. The figure moved slowly on all fours, creeping closer without making a sound. She didn't scream or run. She just sat still, lips pressed tight, eyes locked on the screen. Viewers watched in disbelief, unsure if it was real. But the fear in her eyes made it clear. This wasn't a prank. Walking stool. It started with small noises in the middle of the night. He thought it was nothing, but the sound kept coming from the basement. Curious and a little unsure, he took his phone and slowly went down to check. What he saw made him stop. A wooden stool was moving across the floor on its own. It didn't slide or fall. It looked like it was walking, just like it had legs. He didn't wait another second. He ran back up the stairs and straight out of the house, not even looking back to see if it followed. Car encounter. A chilling moment was captured on camera deep in the Appalachian region. A man had fallen asleep inside his truck, parked in a quiet wooded area. In the middle of the night, he woke up to something moving outside. A strange, dark creature was circling his vehicle, barely visible in the dark. At one point, it peeked into the front window, then quickly vanished from sight. The man stayed still, trapped and unsure of what to do. Elderly woman encounter. An elderly woman was sitting alone at home when something strange appeared in the doorway. A creature was quietly peeking at her from the other room. The house was empty, and she didn't own any pets.
It keeps peeking in here, help me. Oh my goodness gracious, what the hell? Ain't nobody in the other room. Look at this. Oh my gosh.
It stood still, watching from the dark. No signs of forced entry or noise were reported. She later shared the footage, claiming it might have been a skinwalker since she ain't own any pets.
What do you need? I don't even know who you are.
Shapeshifter man. A man was caught on camera walking down a quiet path when something unusual happened. As he moved forward, his body suddenly bent in an odd, unnatural way. In the blink of an eye, he wasn't a man anymore. He had transformed into a dog. The animal then ran off quickly, leaving behind no sign of the person. The video has taken the internet by storm, with viewers calling it a possible shapeshifter sighting. Creepy Joker. A girl exploring a basement filled with large human-sized toys began filming playful videos. She laughed, posed with clown figures, but later she noticed something deeply unsettling. In the background stood a Joker figure that didn't match the rest. Its face looked different, almost too real, and its eyes seemed to follow her. The way it appeared in the frame didn't feel like a normal prop. Viewers who've seen the clip agree. Something about that Joker didn't belong with the others. Mirror ghost. A clip recently went viral for showing something deeply strange inside a mirror. A young boy sat quietly, looking around the room as anyone would, but his reflection didn't move at all. It remained frozen, completely out of sync. Then, for a brief moment, the eyes in the mirror turned pitch black before shifting back to normal. The boy seemed unaware of what just happened. The mirror, however, showed something different. Something not human. Viewers quickly started calling it the mirror ghost. Creepy lady.
What the f?
He was just driving home late at night when he stopped near an empty road for a few minutes. That's when a strange woman walked up to his window. She looked tired and not quite normal. She softly asked him to open the door and give her a ride, saying her child was alone at home. But something felt off. Her eyes didn't blink, and her smile looked frozen. He quickly drove away without saying a word. Since then, strange things haven't stopped happening at his house. The creepiest part? A small decoration figure flew straight at him and bit his foot. It wasn't even alive, so how did it attack him? It all started with the meeting with that lady. So who was she?
What the f?
Strange lady. A strange video surfaced showing a woman standing near a public area, but something about her appearance caught everyone off guard. As the camera zoomed in, her lips began shifting and moving in a way that didn't look human. The movements were unnatural, stretching and reshaping like soft clay. People who've seen the clip believe it might be real evidence of a shapeshifter caught on tape. Twisting lady. A mysterious video shows a woman sitting in the front seat of a parked car, twisting and moving in a way that looked far from normal. Passers-by noticed her strange movements and began recording, unsure of what they were witnessing. Her body bent in directions that didn't seem possible, and the fact that nobody could see her face made the entire situation even more suspicious for the onlookers. A police officer arrived soon after someone filed a complaint, but the car doors were locked and the windows were sealed shut. Though the cameras missed it, witnesses swore that the lady in red vanished from inside the car minutes later, leaving no trace she had ever been there. Nurse encounter. During a quiet night shift, a nurse began hearing odd knocking sounds coming from an empty hospital room. Curious and slightly uneasy, he took out his phone and started recording. The footage captured something truly strange, hands tapping on the inside of the room's window. But when he opened the door and stepped inside, the room was completely empty. There was no place to hide, and no signs of anyone being there. The entire moment lasted only a few seconds, but the clip has since been shared widely. Fridge entity. You won't believe what this casual home video captured. A group of friends were hanging out at their buddy's place when one of them began recording with a new camera. Everything seemed normal until someone walked into the kitchen to grab something from the fridge. As he bent down, the camera caught a pale, ghost-like figure gliding behind the fridge door. He paused and looked around, but no one was there. None of them noticed anything strange that night, but the footage later revealed something they couldn't explain, and it was hiding in plain sight. Hospital corridor ghost. A hospital video recently caught the attention of viewers online for its strange and unexpected moment. A nurse was casually filming her colleagues sitting nearby, just passing time during a quiet shift. But in the background, something unusual appeared. A shadowy figure was seen moving through the corridor, slow, unclear, and not resembling any staff member. The nurse noticed it and quickly alerted others around her. Fear quickly spread, and within seconds, everyone quietly left the area. The figure captured in that hallway still raises questions no one has been able to answer. Parking area figure. It was just another quiet night when a California homeowner got a motion alert on their phone. Curious, they opened the security camera feed and saw something they couldn't explain. A faint figure was slowly walking past the parked cars outside. It wasn't a neighbor, and it didn't move like any animal. Before they could get a closer look, the figure faded into the darkness. The street was still, and nothing else seemed out of place. What did their camera really capture that night? Ping Ghost. A man was driving alone at night when he noticed a house standing quietly in the middle of nowhere, its lights glowing in the dark. Curious, he slowed down and began recording. That's when a dark shadow appeared in one of the windows. It looked like a woman, except she didn't walk. She glided smoothly to the left. When he zoomed in, the figure paused for a moment, then glided again, this time more sharply. There was no back and forth movement, just a single eerie slide to the side. The video now has people questioning what really lives inside that isolated house. Dark web lunch. This unsettling clip has puzzled the internet for years. A man is seen silently eating from a bowl, head down, with food spilled across the table. Standing behind him is a tall mascot. The figure walks up quietly and gently pats the man's back and head, as if comforting him or claiming control. The man doesn't react. No one speaks. There's no music, no context, just cold silence and a strange energy that's hard to explain. Dark shadow figure. In a forgotten, abandoned building, a man set out to explore its dark halls and placed cameras in different corners to capture anything unusual. Hours later, while reviewing the footage, one camera revealed something strange. In the far corner of a hallway, a faint shadow could be seen gliding slowly through the darkness. The figure had no clear shape, just a soft, moving blur that passed without warning. Disappearing lady.
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
No, of course not.
All right. Sit tight, sir. I'll be right back. Okay. Your registration is What the? Sarah?
Nothing seemed unusual when the police officer pulled over a car during a regular stop. The woman inside spoke calmly as the officer noted down her details.
All right. Can I see your driver's license registration?
Yeah.
But the moment the officer turned away to make a quick call, everything changed. Just seconds later, the woman was no longer in the car. The seat was empty, and the doors hadn't opened. Confused, the officer checked the area and even looked under the car, but found nothing. She had vanished without a single trace. The strange footage has since caught attention, raising questions no one can easily answer. Scary conversation. Late one night, a father was drawn to his son's room by the sound of quiet talking. When he opened the door, he saw his son sitting alone, speaking softly, as if someone else was there. Curious, the father asked who his son was talking to. The reply was chilling.
Who are you talking to?
Edward.
Who's Edward?
The dad quickly scanned the empty room, then surprised everyone by rushing downstairs. Maybe he should have taken his son with him, but something about that moment made him freeze in fear instead. Strange shadow. A mother had just picked up her phone to record a warm family moment, her husband holding their little girl near the fireplace. Everything seemed calm and lovely at first, but then a blurry figure in the corner seemed to be moving, almost like it was dancing along with them. It wasn't anyone from the family, and the way it moved didn't seem human. The figure looked stretched, shadowy, and hard to fully make out. Many viewers now believe it was a ghost. Luckily, it didn't seem to do anything harmful. But one thing's clear. Someone, or something, was dancing in the background of that sweet little moment. Taxi ghost. Late one night in Ishinomaki, a taxi driver stopped to pick up a woman near the station. She was dressed in a simple robe and asked to be driven to Minamihama, an area deserted after the tsunami. The driver warned her the place had been abandoned for years, but she said nothing more. When they arrived, he turned to talk, but the seat beside him was empty. No sign of the woman anywhere. Puzzled, he went to the local police, who told him he wasn't alone. Several drivers had reported the same strange passenger, vanishing mysteriously near that old, forgotten neighborhood. Toy Story. One afternoon, a man was looking for his pet dog when he saw something that made him question everything. Standing right next to his dog was Woody, the cowboy toy from Toy Story. Even more surprising, it looked like Woody was petting the dog. The man stepped closer, but as soon as he did, the toy suddenly fell over like any normal doll. Was it just a coincidence, or was there something more to it? The moment left him confused and wondering if that toy really had a life of its own. The mystery stayed with him long after. Walking dog. It started like any normal day. This man was just filming his dog wandering around the house. But then, something truly odd happened. The dog stopped, looked around, and suddenly stood up on its back legs. Not just for a second, it started walking like a person, taking smooth steps, as if it had done it before. The man was stunned. He kept watching, unsure if his eyes were playing tricks on him. After posting the clip online, people flooded the comments. Many believed it wasn't a dog at all, but something pretending to be one. Some even called it a skinwalker. Boy abduction. This CCTV footage shows a moment that left everyone confused. Two friends were walking home late at night through a quiet, empty area. Everything seemed normal, until one of them suddenly shot upward into the air, disappearing in just a split second, like something had pulled him straight up. The other friend panicked and ran. A few moments later, the first guy came falling back down in the exact same spot, just as fast as he had vanished. He sat still for a moment, stunned. Then, as soon as he understood what just happened, he quickly got up and ran too. Twitch streamer. He was just chatting with his followers, laughing at a comment, when something behind him quietly shifted. The door creaked open, slowly, like someone was pulling it. He turned, confused, but no one was there. Then the lights began to flicker, not just once, but in quick pulses, as if something was messing with the energy. Items on his desk started to move. First a pen, then a small box, sliding on their own. He leaned closer to the screen, clearly trying to act calm. But the tension in his face told a different story.
Guys, it's not like we needed any sleep or anything.
Laughing ghost. It all began with a strange noise echoing from the kitchen, something playful, yet completely out of place for a quiet night. A young boy, home alone, felt drawn toward the sound, unsure whether to be scared or curious. As he stepped into the kitchen, he spotted what looked like a little boy hiding behind the shelf. But just as he checked, the figure vanished into thin air. There were no footsteps, no doors creaking, just silence. The footage later left everyone puzzled, and no one's been able to explain who that child was, or where he went. What do you think? Chilling presence. During a late-night shift, two paramedics felt something was off with their ambulance. They stopped in the middle of the road and were shocked by what happened next. It began with a strange face that appeared in the rearview mirror.
So as we driving back to base, I swear I seen a face in the rearview mirror.
Panicking, he immediately jumped out of the ambulance. The real trouble began when he returned to turn off the engine. He heard a whisper that seemed to say, "I am alive." Hearing it was enough, he dropped his phone and ran back. Although he recovered the phone a few minutes later, both of them described the incident as one of the spookiest encounters they had ever experienced while on duty.
I've been an EMT just for a little bit, and I ain't never experienced nothing like this.
Creepy neighbor. A disturbing video shows a man crouching by a family's front door, injecting a mysterious liquid into a crack below. For weeks, the parents and their newborn had suffered overpowering chemical smell. The father installed a hidden camera outside to know the truth, only to capture the neighbor identified as Zhu-Ming Li, a chemistry student doing this. When the father informed the authorities, they conducted lab tests to be sure. It revealed the substance was a mix of methadone and hydrocodone, powerful opioids, though the exact reason behind this bizarre behavior could only be explained as mental illness. According to the family, Lee had reportedly been angry over noise complaints, and this looked like a deliberate act of revenge against the family. Thankfully, the police arrested him on time to avoid any unpleasant incident. Man vanishing. A reporter was delivering the daily news live on television when something strange appeared in the background. A man was seen walking behind her, moving casually through the frame, but just a few steps in, he suddenly disappeared. Right in the middle of the shot, there was no one near him, no place to hide, and no signs of editing. It looked as if he was wiped from existence. The broadcast continued as normal, but viewers later caught the strange moment on replay. Strange lights. Late at night, strange activity was captured on camera at Anwar Uloom College of Education. The building lights began flickering on and off without warning. There were no power problems reported, and no one was near the switches. The lights kept glitching in a pattern, as though someone was deliberately triggering them. Yet, according to the college staff, there was no electrical fault. They insisted the incident was purely paranormal. Strange behavior. A chilling midnight video shows a glass wall shattering suddenly, without a person or object nearby. Just moments later, a wheelchair from the nearby lounge began rolling across the floor all by itself. With no one in sight, it moved smoothly through the hallway and exited the building. One of the security guards noticed the strange movement from a distance. He didn't go near, but watched in silence as the chair continued moving on its own. The entire sequence was caught on security cameras, and the footage has left viewers stunned by the eerie activity inside the building. Small being. The video shows a couple of friends having their time inside the room. One friend was seen running around, while another filmed, capturing the fun. But in the middle of the clip, something unexpected appeared. A small human-like figure quickly moved across the background, so fast it almost went unnoticed. The friends were stunned when they spotted it during playback. Not long after, the video was taken down without explanation. Now, people who saw it are left wondering what that strange figure was, and why the clip disappeared so suddenly. Window Man. A woman began recording a quiet street, and at first, nothing seemed out of place. She looked through the window, and no one was there. But as she panned the camera slightly to the left, capturing the reflection in the glass, a strange figure could be seen sitting beside a parked car. She turned back quickly, but still, no one was outside. The figure appeared only in the reflection, never in real life. Paranormal bike. A quiet street corner was being recorded by a security camera, showing two bikes parked normally. Everything appeared still, until one of the bikes suddenly started moving by itself. It rolled forward slowly, without anyone touching it or being nearby. The movement wasn't caused by wind or a slope, as the other bike remained completely still. It continued rolling until it tipped over near the edge. The strange part was that there was no clear reason for it to move at all. Backyard Angel. This backyard footage revealed something that left viewers puzzled. In the middle of the night, a pale shadow-like figure appeared, slowly moving across the yard. Its shape was hard to define, but it clearly didn't look human. What made it even stranger was the glowing circular ring above it, almost like a halo. The shape drifted around silently before fading into the dark. There were no lights, no special effects, and no one outside at the time. Scream. He had always been curious about the old abandoned building on the edge of town. One evening, he finally decided to check it out. As he stood outside, taking a few quiet steps around the entrance, a strange sound echoed nearby. It wasn't just a regular noise. It was sharp, almost like a scream, but not quite human. The tone sent a chill through him. He froze for a moment, listening, unsure of what he'd just heard. 3 girls. A home security camera recorded a strange moment when 3 young girls were playing in the lounge while their parents were away. One of them stood in the hallway, holding a small object in her hand. Out of nowhere, she began rising into the air, like something unseen was lifting her. The other 2 girls saw it and ran, screaming. Within seconds, the floating stopped, and she dropped back to the floor. No one could explain what happened. Later, when the parents watched the footage, they were shocked. What they saw didn't seem like a trick. It felt like something took over. Mysterious orb. On a quiet evening in Colombia, a man was seen walking up the steps of a house. Nothing out of the ordinary, but within seconds, the calm turned to chaos. A fast, unseen object suddenly struck the doorway, sending the man flying backward. He hit the ground hard, completely shocked. Viewers later tried to pause the footage and spot what hit him, but the object seemed to appear out of nowhere. The speed, the force, and the timing, it all felt too strange to explain. Creepy, peeking mystery. He was just finishing up some work alone when something odd caught his eye. At the far end of the hallway, a figure kept peeking from behind a wall, then quickly hiding again. At first, he thought it was a prank, maybe someone from the building. But as he looked closer, the figure didn't move like a normal person. Its eyes looked darker than they should have been, and its head tilted in a way that felt unnatural. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. On October 2023, during Lana Del Rey's concert in Charleston, West Virginia, a witness known online as Epic Paranormal reported a series of unsettling events. From the moment the show began, he sensed an eerie, unnatural energy. A man in the crowd screamed incessantly for Lana to notice him. As the night went on, particularly during the final 3 songs, Lana's demeanor seemed to change, and Epic Paranormal's camera began to glitch without explanation. Faces in his photos appeared distorted, and the atmosphere grew increasingly tense.
The night went on, especially the last 3 songs, her demeanor changed. Lana Del Rey's demeanor changed.
Whether the anomalies were caused by faulty equipment or something far stranger, he left convinced that the concert carried a haunting, unshakable energy.